because most of this information about the toxicity, the persistence, the bioaccumulation aspects, it had been known to the companies making it and using it, 3M, who made it, and DuPont, who was using it, but none of that had been turned over to the EPA or to the state of West Virginia, and none of it to the public. And particularly the fact it wasn't just in this landfill, it was in the drinking water of the entire surrounding community. DuPont had known it since the 80s. And it was not only was it in the water, it was in the water above the levels DuPont's own scientists said were safe. Even though the EPA and the states didn't know about this, so there were no regulations, no standards, DuPont's own scientists, knowing how concerning this chemical was, its toxicity, its persistence, its bioaccumulation, they sat down in 1988 and became the first people on the planet to come up with a drinking water guideline for this chemical. They said no more than 0.6 parts per billion. And we're all talking about parts per trillion for these chemicals now. But that was important back then because that happened to be basically the lowest level you could detect it at the time. So they were essentially saying, when they looked at it, if you can find it in the water, it's probably too high. And so it took the next 20 years to get that information out to the agencies, to the public, to the scientific community. And we eventually finally had the chemical phased out in the United States.